hate to say that we were kidnapped and brought here. It's true. It's not hate to say that we were Jim Crow, discriminated and segregated. It's true.
Our problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about...
I can't be a pessimist because I'm alive. To be a pessimist means that you have agreed that human life is an academic matter.
We might not be back. I might be in jail. I might be anywhere. But when I leave, you can remember I said with the last words on my lips that I am a revolutionary. And you're going to have to keep on saying that.
Thank you for tuning in once again. This is the End of the Bench Media, hosted by yours truly, Brian HRap B. Williams. This is called A Few Minutes with HRap, where I attempt to add some positivity, uplift the community, and give us some options so we can help our grandchildren's great-grandchildren live a much better life than we have. We've lived good lives, but we want to continue to go upward in this thing called life. Now, we want to have an upward trajectory, I should say. Now, thank you for tapping in. As usual, I want you to tap in on here. If you're watching this later, I would love for you to go to www.thaendofdabench.com, where, as you know, every day I give information that I think will be beneficial. I also give you a piece of history that you can watch a clip it. Today, I'll be using a clip from a man, Country Boy, on One Mic History. You can go to One Mic History on YouTube, or you can go to my website and watch the same video. Both of us get credit. It'll be beneficial. It helps traffic on my website, draw people in, help the family grow, help the tradition grow, and then I can continue to give you the information I think will be beneficial to all of us. I want to thank my parents, Dolores and John. Dolores is my mother, John is my father. Together they came together and created me. I created the podcast, and then we will exponentially continue to grow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to all the people who have been liking, subscribing, and for the person who sent a little money via Cash App. If you want to do that as well, there you go. You can donate to the show. That helps with the upkeep of the show, the software, everything that I do. It helps me help you, help me. So we'll move forward. Now, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One Nation Under the Groove. That is a song from a Parliament Funkadelic. So from the great Parliament Funkadelics and George Clinton, and one of the greatest bands in the history of the United States of America. The reason I use that is because the State of the Union address was last night, and you had the President of the United States outline his plan for what he needs to do for the United States of America so they can be functional. I saw it as an attack on Black America. Black America has foothold in a lot of places. One of the places he attacked is Social Security Board Administration, things of that nature, not from receiving checks. We are the people who administrate the checks. We are working in those offices. He's attacking the post office today. One of the greatest things that I heard that was the greatest insult to us is this. For 339 years, we were enslaved. For 160 years, we've been emancipated and working against a system that is designed and diametrically opposed to everything we do. Whether you admit it or not, whether you want to talk about what your friends, what you've seen and what you've experienced or not, it will be a direct result of what he's trying to do. One of the greatest attacks is your mind. That's one of the things that they attempted to take away from our ancestors. They attempted to attack their mind. They stripped them from their roots, homeland, tribal traditions, and things of that nature. They gave them doctrine in which they could not read. And now you can't read, you're illiterate. No, I can't read your language. If I go to Mexico, I am a functioning illiterate. If I go to France, I'm illiterate. Here in the United States of America, I'm extremely literate. So they took that away from us, and they made it illegal for you to learn how to read their doctrine, so you won't be able to use it against them. There are myriad of people where you talk about Sojourner Truth. When you talk about On a Judge, look up On a Judge was a person who was enslaved by former President George Washington and his family. You got a million instances. The judge tried that trial where he fought for his freedom. You have people fighting for their freedom and winning, because once you learn the law, you master the law. Once you master the law, you use the loopholes and the holes in it to beat the system that is attempting to destroy you. Hence, why he's attacking the Department of Education. If we have a substandard education system and the Black community has a even further substandard, lower than the substandard, what happens is this. we suffer according to their knowledge. But guess what? Between 1865 and 1900, we went from a 4% literacy rate to an 87% literacy rate, never duplicated again and never will be. So this is how you know, I've said this time and time again, when they refer to you as a minority, this is how you know you are not a minority, because you've never worried about 13% of anything. If you were going to have surgery, like I have a back injury, if they'd have told me it's a 13% chance that this won't go right, but it's an 87% chance, 83% chance, 87% chance that it will, I'm taking that chance. Who worries about the 13%? They continue to force that down your throat. 13% of the population. But you know what? That's because there are literally thousands of people from, there are literally hundreds of different cultures in this country. Compare us to the other cultures. White is not a culture. Nowhere in the world will you find a white country. You will find people that refer to as white people, but white isn't a culture. They disseminate themselves via German, Irish, Greek, Jewish, and that's a culture, not a race. And a million other countries, thousands of other countries, hundreds of other countries throughout the world. So when we are referred to as a color, that lets you know that this is a game plan to denigrate you and reduce your value. We're not accepting that reduction in value anymore. So that's why I knew it was an attack against us, because as ignorant as they can keep us, we will be put in a situation. If you watch this to the end, you'll see Dr. Amos Wilson make a statement, and that statement holds true to what I'm talking about today. This is why I said one nation under a groove. We have a rhythm to us. There's a rhythm to the way we walk. There's a rhythm to the way we cook. There's a rhythm to the way we talk. There's a rhythm to the way we embrace each other. That's why I said under a groove. We're one nation under that rhythm, under the tribal rhythms, under the spoken word rhythms, under the rhythms of God that was embedded inside of us. So this is what I want us to understand. We need to put ourselves in a position, like the song said, we gonna come together and work through our restrictions. These are the lyrics of this song. Understand, you thinking it's just a dude on psychedelic drugs and he's got this wild space stuff. This dude was speaking to the restrictions of this country. And just like, see, this is the beauty in Black culture. This is the beauty in being a member of this North American Black culture and Black diaspora throughout the world. We can say things to each other and nobody understands. I don't know of any other culture, and you may be out there, and if you are, thank God, that if you walk past another person in that culture, you just nod and you acknowledge. There are certain things that you can say, no matter where you are in the United States of America. You get a bunch of women together, you make a strong point, and they're gonna say that part. They didn't have a meeting to say it. You already understand it. When you have things like tribes from different portions of the continent infused in one death camp that's called a plantation, and they figure out a way to communicate, and they figure out ways that hundreds of thousands of them escape to Florida and Canada. Yeah. How did they do that? Because they use conversation, they use that natural rhythm with us. We're going to start using that rhythm as well. We are going to use that same rhythm to ensure our mental, physical, and spiritual freedoms throughout the United States of America. We will no longer be subjected to the tyranny of the United States of America, the disrespect and the denigration of the United States of America. We're better than that. Whether people want to admit it or not, we're better than that. We don't have to suffer. So if we come together and we use history and see, how do we do that? Like Parliament is a governmental body. And you come together as a government, a governing body. Who is that governing body? The governing body is the elders in this community. I'm going to need us as the elders. Yes, I am an elder now. I am not young anymore. Once I cross that 40, young is not in my vocabulary. I am one of the elders. I'm one of the bottom rung of the elders. I can tell the 30-somethings what to do. I could give them leadership, but I'm receiving leadership. We must start embracing our culture and the things that make us wonderful. Other cultures, they have dinners. They have traditions and things of that nature. We have the same dinners and traditions and naming processes and things of that nature. We need to get back to that. We really do. You know, one of the more common things I've noticed on social media is people making statements like, holidays aren't like they used to be when Big Mama and them used to do it. Hey, guess what? Even when Big Mama and them was doing things, it was people older than Big Mama and them that didn't do anything. They gave instructions. Guess what? You Big Mama and them and your parents, uncles, and aunts and elders in your community or family, not just biologically, they are they are the elders, and you are Big Mama them, which means the next time you're not feeling Thanksgiving-y or Christmassy or the summer cookout, you need to do something to infuse that good feeling. We have to no longer have issues. Look, if someone has brought harm to you and injected trauma into your life, I'm not saying embrace that person. But you know what? Those petty arguments, you need to put them to the backside. You need to deal with them on other terms. Because if you are outside your mind, if you think when you were at your grandmother's house, everybody got along, they did not. You were a younger person or a child, so you didn't understand the diametrics, the dynamics of the family situation. So what we're going to have to do, that little beef that we had with our cousin for that funky $50, and it wasn't funky when you gave it to them, or whatever they broke or whatever they borrowed or that favor that they didn't extend to you, you need to get over that because you're under attack. They want to reduce things like Social Security. They want to reduce things like Medicare. Understand, think about it. Like people say, Barack Obama didn't do anything for the Black community. If Barack Obama didn't do, he should have done more. Okay, he didn't do anything. Healthcare was for everybody. If we lead the nation to heart disease, diabetes, prostate cancer, breast cancer, and a myriad of other health issues, and you make healthcare free and or affordable, who is that benefiting right off the top? That's benefiting us. Whether you want to accept that or not. Oh, well, yeah, I never looked at it that way. Well, accept it. Stop trying to outsmart. It's this thing, outsmart thing. It's this thing called Occam's razor. The most obvious answer is the answer. You don't have to think past it. And guess what? He's a politician. He ain't your friend. So if he didn't do enough and you didn't complain enough and you don't have a myriad of things on a list, on a sheet of paper or in a text message or wherever, or an email that you said he should have done and you didn't complain to your state rep, your state senator, your U.S. senator, your governor, your county president, the city council, and the mayor, then you didn't do enough either. See, we need to get past those things because there's a war going on outside. Nobody's safe. No working class person is safe. But the difference, what makes us more vulnerable is we gravitate to other cultures quicker than we do ours. You can't trust this person. No, you can. But everybody isn't your best friend. Everybody doesn't have to do things in accordance to how you want them done. And when they don't do them in accordance to how you want them done, then guess what? That's okay. That's perfectly fine. And that does not mean not help other people. That just means you can only trust that person to this point. You can trust HRap to 10. You can trust somebody at 8, somebody at 3, and some people you can't trust at all. But that doesn't mean if I can't trust you doing this, that don't mean I can't trust you at all. Everyone has a role in this wheel of life. Make sure you're the strongest spoke you can be. And that's what we have to understand. See, we have forgotten our traditions. We no longer know each other. We no longer communicate with each other. We no longer help each other. And now we're about to suffer. This is the opportunity for us. That's why a couple of days ago, I said, man, maybe the best thing to happen to this community in a long time is this clown as president of the United States and his goofball court. Because as the great Dr. Greg Carr said, the hillbilly horde, when you know you're under attack, you have to lock arms, lock back to back and get it on. And that's what we have to do. Reestablish that family or that family dynamic. Put ourselves in a position to whereas that family dynamic will be ready to fight. Guess what? You and your cousin can get into a fight. But no one else will jump in and try to break it up because if you do the wrong thing, those cousins will attack you. It's cousins. We're under attack. Leave your petty beasts behind, whether it be family, communal, street organization, Divine Nine, fraternal orders. We need to work together. Otherwise, we're cooked. I'm going to give you an example. It's time to show you the history. I'm going to give you a couple minutes of it. You know, I'm not going to do it. Again, it's One Mic History by my man, Country Boy. He does great work. Go subscribe to his page as well, because we need to support each other at all times. And if you doubt anything I'm saying, one of the first things this clown said, this will no longer be a woke country. The rest of them don't have to be woke. We're going to be woke. With that being said, I'm going to awaken you with this. This is going to help us, and we're going to get to a better situation. Listen to my man, Country Boys, and I'll be back shortly.
In the heart of African-American culinary traditions lies a rich tapestry woven with flavors, history, and resilience. It's a cuisine born from struggle and survival and tells a story far deeper than its delicious dishes. It's a story that stretches across continents and centuries, from bustling markets of West Africa to sprawling plantations of the American South. So join us today while we chronicle the history and legacy of soul food. And if you like stories like this, you can find more stories like this at onemichistory.com. And if you like audio-only episodes, you can find my podcast wherever you get your podcasts. But without further ado, let's get started. Soul food is more than a type of cooking. It is a symbol of Black culture. This cuisine traces its roots back to the agriculture and culinary traditions of enslaved Africans in the American South. It includes dishes like fried chicken, collard greens, cornbread, black-eyed peas, known for their comfort and rich flavors. Soul food is not only about providing nourishment, but is a symbol of community, cultural pride, and identity over generations. But beyond its taste, soul food has played a crucial role in American cuisine, influencing dining habits and spotlighting Black heritage. The recipes and techniques that they have been passed down through generations, each telling a story of adaptation and perseverance. As soul food spread from its southern origins, it became a cherished part of America's diverse culinary scene, inspiring chefs and food lovers everywhere. Let's start at the beginning. Born from West African culinary traditions, the staples of West African farming societies included grains, yams, legumes, vegetables, and some meats, elements that are closely aligned to soul food's basics. Western African regions had preferences for different starches, including rice, millet, sorghum, and yams. Fishing was crucial along the coast and interior rivers, contributing significantly to their diet. Traditional West African cooking methods included frying, smoking, baking with ash, roasting over a fire, and boiling in water, many of which are staples of soul food today. Seasoning pastes were commonly used to enhance the flavor and the color of meats and showcase the shared culinary practice between Western Africa and the Americas. Culinary knowledge was passed down orally since there was no written cookbooks before European contact, and the Columbian exchange, which brought Europe and Asia and the new world crops like maize and plantains to Western Africa, were skillfully incorporated to their already rich cuisine.
Now, with that being said, as you see, this is something, learning to cook and participate in culinary wares. That is not just something that is here from the United States of America. That is deeply embedded in us. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. These are the traditions of sharing something called love through cuisine. If you ever notice, when you go to someone's house, if they welcome you in, they will welcome you to their table. And how you welcome them? Because if I don't have a lot and I'm willing to share that with you, it's like I'm welcoming you into my life. This is part of the love that I share. And if you don't understand that, that's part of the problem. Food is a bounding thing with every portion of our lives, because if I don't have much and I give it to you, it's more than if I have a lot and give you a little. If I have $5 and I love you enough to give you 3 or even 4, that's more than a man with $1 million who give you 1,000, because I sacrifice in order to add to your joy, your comfort, and show you love. That's how we can do this thing. We need to start extending ourselves without expecting. The people in your community didn't take care of your children because they wanted you to take care of theirs. They took care of your children because they love children. And if you love yourself, you'll love everybody. But if you don't love yourself, then you can't love nobody. And if you don't love nobody, then you are nobody. And that's just the way it works. We need to get back to those caring traditions. You need to start speaking to a person from this community every time you see them. Hey, how you doing? Thank you. How are you doing? We need to leave those attitudes at home. He's just trying to flirt, or she just, these women, no. We need, these people are attacking us at all angles. Academically, socially, politically, financially, but it's enough of us to survive. We can do these things. We don't need other people to make this thing work. This African diaspora is so vast that once we stop, look around and realize there are more people that look like me on this planet than anybody else, then what are we arguing about? The largest land mass on Earth is the continent of Africa. That means that there's more people on that land mass. And if those people were brought over here in South America, the Caribbean, and North America, and 50 million of them are sitting right here at the apex of hate, guess what? If we come together, we won't even need people, because one beautiful thing about not colonization, one beautiful thing about being in corporate America and facing these things that will attack you via corporate America, called capitalism, is they need you. It doesn't work if you don't work. Some of the most popular shows are our shows. I said this a couple of days ago. Your favorite athletes look like us. Your favorite entertainers look like us. Some of the greatest thought-provoking people look like us. Some of the greatest scientists look like us. So if we start shrinking our circle, meaning circle the wagons, stop protecting each other, and then make people come to us, guess what? Whatever you have in your hand that used to be worth $1, because you only have it, it's worth $10. And if you use that $10 to update the circle, now everybody in that circle has $3 when they only had 50 cents before. This is what we need to do. And like I said, we recreate those traditions, those family gatherings, Sunday dinner, like in that movie Soul Food. Start having Sunday meals so you can get familiar with relatives. Invite a relative that hasn't been around in a long time. Call people. A text message is not personal. A phone call, even if you only call once a year on a birthday. These are the things that reconnect people. Reconnect people. And once you reconnect, you stay connected. The difference is, unless someone is attempting to erase you or unalive you, we need to get past these arguments. Because, and guess what, even if you have an argument, if you and I have an argument, but you know how to fix a car, my car is down, and I pay you for it, you're going to fix my vehicle, you're going to go about your way, and guess what? That is mending. That is a mending of the fences in itself. How do we do these things? First of all, as adults, as elders, people who were born from 1975 going backward. As a matter of fact, from 1985 going backward, because if you're born in 85, you're 40 years old this year. So no more young for you. 85 going back, and next year, 86, 87, and so forth and so on. What we're going to do is reattach these situations, and we're going to take from our elders, talk to our elders, have conversations. We're not going to ask questions to come back. Well, see, let me explain. No, you're going to talk to your elders so you can understand. You will incorporate their knowledge into you and the way you live and the way they did things. See, I can't do you well. If you can't, then you don't need to be a part of this community. Then you introduce it to your younger siblings who are in their 40s and in their 30s and in their 20s and in their teens and so forth and so on. Once we reinstitute these things, at that point, we become impenetrable. You will understand the importance of the Black community. We can no longer promote the importance of America versus Black America. We need to promote the importance of the Black community, getting along at all costs, surviving at all costs. And guess what? That'll be a reduction in negative energy in our community. It would permeate into our young people. And when they get into them, it will be a tradition. And when it becomes a tradition, it will become second nature. And when it becomes second nature, we will continue to grow. But if we don't start, people who were born from 1985 Going back to the beginning of time, if you are living and breathing, I'm going to need you to leave all your petty differences at home and stop listening to your oppressor. Stop listening to your colonizer. Stop listening to your enemies and start listening to your friends, family, and other people in your community. Those are the things that will have us successful. We don't support each other. Who told you that? Who told you that? I had a conversation with a young person Saturday. Oh, we don't support each other. I said, you don't? I said, how do you earn money? He said, I do hair. I said, oh, so only white people come to me? Only black people come to me? I thought she didn't get supported. Oh, we only mistreat each other. Really? So are we incarcerating people? Did we bring the dope over here? We bring the guns over here? Well, we had to use them. I didn't ask you that. See, again, if you're put in a position that you're not living and you're surviving, you're in survival mode. So at that point, as I stated 2 days ago, how is it that you can justify selling poison to feed your family and it's killing mine? At some point, we will have to come together and leave the poison alone. And just because you were involved in poison does not make you less of a person. That means you were misled and we allowed the crack in our bowl called a culture to not be sealed, healed, and repaired. And then we allow ourselves to be infected by what was going on outside of our community. And that's what we're doing right now. So we're going to talk to our elders to get the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding about this community. And then we're going to talk to each other to spread the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding from the elders. And what we'll do is go into pockets and talk to our younger people and pass it down. We will recreate traditions, Sunday dinners, monthly dinners, holiday dinners, family events, celebration of birthdays, celebration of anniversaries, celebration of graduations, and other accomplishments. These are the things that we will do in order to become the greatest community we can be, to return to the greatness that our ancestors created. We don't need anybody else. Stop expecting to go into an establishment that was started with the last few pennies that somebody had and expecting a 4-star restaurant. Because guess what? They mess up at those 4-star restaurants too. But what they do is give you 20% off and you accept it. It's okay. Okay. Instead of paying $250 for this, I'm only going to pay $175. Ooh. No, they just bought you to come back again. Or here you go a discount. And then you can come back next time. You ever notice that they don't say, so hopefully, they say, so when you come back, embedding the thought in your eye and your mind to come back. Give people opportunity to build up to excellence. If everything you do isn't excellent, don't expect excellence from everyone. The very next time you wake up and live a 24-hour period and not make a mistake, you reach out to me and say, I did it. Because the first time you do it will be the first time it ever happened. So stop holding our community up to this insane standard. When we find things like, what is it? I got it in my phone. Give me a second. I'm gonna show it to you. Here goes some websites that you can shop with us and buy our tools and buy our goods, toilet paper, dishwasher liquids, laundry detergents, our clothing. You can go to targetfast.org. Targetfast.org. I think I still have it in my banners. Targetfast.org. You can have those things. And then what we're going to do is start shopping it. And if the site is moving us a little slow, guess what? So what? So what? It's moving a little. No, I deleted it. Sorry. But that's because the other guest that I had. Target, TARGETFAST.org. Another one is buyblack.us. buyblack.us. Everything gonna be moving slow because this jackass this guy has infused these tariffs that's gonna slow down everything. So don't expect. Do you really believe Facebook, Amazon, and all these places, Target Online and Walmart, were they moving at top speed when they first started, or did you infuse enough money to allow them to grow, enough money, time, and patience to allow them to grow, and then so they can bilk you out all your money? What we're going to have to do is start shopping with those people. And then I want you to go to usblackchamber.org, and we're going to work with each other. Another site is Black, BLAP. That's an app, BLAP. That's an app. And my personal favorite is Official Black Wall Street. Official Black Wall Street. Work with them. Shop with each other. And then guess what? We'll build our own target one day at a time. If you could continue to figure out what's wrong with what I'm saying without offering an answer, always having the alternative to what if you shut your damn mouth and try and work with the community? What if you shut your damn mouth and come up with a solution to these problems? What if you support your brothers and sisters while they are attempting to do everything they can to make life for you, I, and our grandchildren's grandchildren a better place? What if you did that instead of telling me, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? It's always a bad thing. It's always this and it's always that. Why is it that you know everything that could go wrong and you know nothing that could go right? I'm multitasking. I should have did this before I started. I apologize. But what if you start thinking in a positive way? What if you stop assuming that because it's attached to your complexion, it's going to be some type of infection? What if you did that? What if you just shut up and support and work with the people? Have, that same grace that you want. What if you afforded us that? If you're looking for perfection, you're not going to get it in the Black community or no other community on the face of the earth. If you're looking for stick-to-itiveness, creativity, ingenuity, hard work, and dedication, try us out. Just like you support me on a regular basis, thank you. I greatly appreciate it. Hit that like, hit that share, leave a comment. Subscribe, please, if you haven't already. Support our brothers and sisters because we can get through this dark period if y'all allow us. Just like I said yesterday, in 1964 and 65, there was civil rights legislation that stopped denigration, segregation, and our inability to enforce our God-given and constitutional rights here in this country. The Civil Rights Act and the Voters' Rights Act. We got what we wanted and we gave up what we had to get it. Let's get back what we had. With that being said, I'll talk to you tomorrow as usual. This your man HRap, 2 fingers, 1 word, and y'all already know I'll see y'all tomorrow because
and it is necessary for those people who rule over us and who rule over African people the world over. If those people are to stay in power, they must destroy our ability to love each other in a healthy sort of way. This is why